has always been a passion of mine to be a storyteller of the unique, the different, and the underdog. Life's wrinkles and imperfections is my cup of tea. Whether a person is young or old, I could see it in their eyes that everyone dies, but not everyone lives. These untold stories needed to be told. No doubt the paranormal realm is a personal thing. What someone believes, others may not. So where do I even begin to tell you about my strange paranormal journey? How can I express the importance of how these haunting experiences of the afterlife has put meaning into my everyday life? Well, how about from the beginning? Philip and I both screamed an identical shriek that echoed throughout our little house on Carey Road. Suddenly our bedroom door flew open and it was our mum coming to the rescue. Out of breath, she yelled, "What on earth is going on? Dear Lord, you almost scared me to death." Well, we began to tell her about what we had seen on our closet door. Our mum went quiet as she listened to our story. With tears in her eyes, she began to tell her own story. "Boys, what you saw sounds like the countryside where you were born. The street sign, Holmes Road, was where your grandparents lived. The small white dog was that of your grandfather's, and the gray-haired old lady, I believe, is your grandmother. And she just died a few hours ago." Boom. The room went silent, so quiet you could hear a pin drop. How could we remember this, as we were only 4 years old the last time we saw them, our grandparents in England? Fast forward 15 years, the city of angels, the land of traffic jams and broken dreams. Welcome to Hollywood. Philip and I dared move here to be rock stars. Musicians, since the age of 13, we were destined to be noticed, whether it was from our outlandish fashion style or the obsession I had for David Bowie, which indeed grew to the point that my hair became very spiky orange and my eyebrows disappeared by the blades of a razor. As we started to film, the dark clouds above opened up right above me where I was mounted on the cross. Suddenly a beam of sunlight shone down, illuminating me, being crucified. My heart dropped with the overwhelming feeling of dread. I remember closing my eyes, even if it was just for a millisecond. I felt the humility, the pain, the sadness, yet faith that Jesus must have felt at the time of this sacrifice. It was an incredible life-changing moment for me, because as I came down from that splintered old cross, things now seemed different. Everything was bright. The filming location was the old VA hospital in Westwood, known as the Old Soldiers' Home. It was my job description, as well as a select few, to do cleanup work for the on-screen Dream Hospice. While scraping the paint from the floors, I heard muffled screams through the ventilation shaft. It was a male voice repeating the words, "I didn't mean to kill you, Joe. I didn't mean to kill you." It sent shivers down my spine, over and over again, and the mental cries grew. Scared and confused, I ran down the hospital corridors into something right out of a horror movie. Suddenly, a feeling of extreme darkness took over, a feeling of complete terror and desperation. Alone and now frightened, I felt like someone or something was standing right in front of me. I very much needed to get out of there, and fast. I reached for my camera, snapped a picture, and bolted up the dark tunnel with my video and audio recorder rolling. The run seemed endless as I was afraid to look back, scared that some monster, some kind of thing was chasing me. With a heavy heart, I now dared to play the audio that was recorded that very day. We were in the death tunnel. The sound of screaming, cries from a young female being violently attacked filled the room. I could not help put my hands over my ears and try to make it stop. The pain of not being able to help ripped me apart. Not only did I capture this gross girl's picture, but her voice, and possibly her death as well. 10 human shadow children stood there watching us, studying us. We could not believe our eyes. visible only through the fluorothermal imager, as we could not see them with the human eye. This is one of the best captures you could ever get in Paranormal Activity. It felt very creepy as their bulging eyes seemed to follow me. It was obviously that the man of the house was a hunter and an avid gun owner by the gun safe he had in the corner of the bedroom. I could feel the husband now right behind me as he entered this bedroom of death. "I wish I knew the combination to the safe," he whispered, as he began to tell me how his wife recently changed the safe's combination as she was afraid he might kill his family. Starting out in the dry, heated Mojave Desert landing in El Reno, Oklahoma, we went on a search for the history, hauntings, and the plight of the first Americans. This would be my first experience flying in an experimental antique airplane. This plane was made out of a gorilla tape and refurbished parts. We flew across the endless dry desert. It's a funny thing though, it took so much guts to get me up in the air, and then when I ended up there, I didn't want to come down. Suddenly the porch light flickered and the entity started to mutate, replicating the chair's exact form. Once it learned its curves and design, it became the chair's perfect shadow. Welcome to the Crescent Hotel in Eureka Springs, Arkansas, known as one of the most haunted hotels in America. Built in 1886, this is where Philip and I would film our interviews for the paradocumentary Children of the Grave. The hotel was beautiful and yet spooky. The architecture was 19th century design full of aging antiques and relics from the past. The hallways were half full with ghost tours echoing all kinds of grisly stories, including the crazed Dr. Norman Baker, who apparently did horrific experiments on his cancerous patients. You know you're good because you speak with authority, and that authority is your heart. We must all remember when it comes to paranormal investigations, it's about respect and most of all closure. It is not about fame, drama, or the ghost hunting t-shirt. Who cares if you're on TV when you're saving someone's soul? Be the true hero. When you really want to help and communicate with the spirit of a lost one, let's focus on that, just that. The lost souls. Otherwise, join Team Jersey Shore or investigate with TMZ. I would never invite them into my life, never mind my house. Paranormal friends, please keep it real. Be respectful and compassionate, and remember you're dealing with someone's hereafter. Like all of our paranormal cases, we don't really care that it is haunted. We care why it is haunted. We set out and became the first to bring cameras inside to show you, the viewer, the truth, the real events and elements, to help fill in the gaps of what seemed to be an unbelievable story. History is far more haunting when told right. You go after a story only to come across another story that is far more interesting and scary. Think of it like this. A story is like a tree that has many branches and roots. Once uncovered, you unearth its deep buried secrets. They lead us to the root, the heart of the matter, from the tree of the afterlife. SOS does not stand for save ourselves. For us mere mortals, the adventures have just begun. But for the lost souls without closure, it never ends. The end or the beginning.